Welcome back! You're just in time for the mother of all Mother's Day reviews, at least until next year, right here on the Thrift Store Rundown, celebrating Mom's Day, the only way we know how, by bringing Hollywood home on a budget. This is the fifth and final contest in the overarching theme that's been presented throughout this day. Not all moms are created equal. Not all moms practice self-care in the same way. I could go on and on and on about the various practices of self-care, but instead, for this video, I'm going to leave that to an expert who called upon some experts that she knows to provide you with a literal motherload of ways to appreciate your life more. 20 reasons to find joy in every day, which is the mantra and the mission of the almighty Oprah! This is the July 2013 issue of the Oprah Magazine back in its print days, which I picked up for $1.99 out of a retail price of $4.50. That's not a retail price you see around these parts, but you know what? For a price like that, that certainly is nothing to seize at. In addition to 20 of Oprah's instant mood boosters, including those for your appetite, with fussy drink recipes on page 120 and page 128 for everything else, you'll find the recommendations for the best books of summer. From fiction to memoirs to thrillers, we dare you to put them down. You'll also find life-changing hair makeovers, the 4 keys to pulling yourself out of a rut, and advice from Oprah's all-stars, including Susie Orman, who has good news for your money. The way she talks like that, you would assume in a previous life, if she wasn't on CNBC, that she'd be a prime candidate to take over Paul Kangris on the Nightly Business Report on PBS. Speaking of which, she had won 2 daytime Emmys for her work on PBS telethon specials. Pledge specials, I should say. We're going to start right away with one of the best incentives to purchase any magazine, thrift shop or otherwise. Hello, Rachel. And yes, I know Jennifer Aniston goes beyond Rachel Green nowadays, but if you noticed, we seem to be on a Friends kick lately. So I just had to include her. She's my backup quest, because what red-blooded American wouldn't have a thing for the quintessential girl next door? And heads up, another one of the Central Park 6 will make a cameo in the back cover of this book. Guess who? You'll find out at the end of this video. And heads up, it's not one of the guys, even though Chandler is my boy, which is another hit for you. In the meantime, we present to you 11 summer-themed self-care practices. One short of a dozen ways to puck up the season and have the best summer ever. That being July 2013. Eat lobster like a pro, reread a classic, go see a movie thinking beyond the blockbuster, the way back, most likely in Blue Jasmine. Cooking up some Southern comfort, fried chicken tips, taking a nature walk, bringing the farm to your table, and the tip that I vibe with the most, tip number 5, from Laura Spencer, former co-anchor of The Insider and Good Morning America, and the author of I Break for Yard Sales. Hunt for treasures. 'Tis the season of yard sales. You can find lamps, art, and mirrors in great condition. For furniture, wiggle legs, split cushions, open drawers. If a piece has good bones, a coat of paint or new upholstery could give it a new lease on life. Well, you know what, Laura Spencer? There's a job at PBS for you with that dialect. And now we move on to Oprah's All-Stars. May they help you? Of course they should. We begin with Susie Orman, who has some advice for your financial woes, as she so often does. Road to Joy, explaining how to navigate improving economic conditions without letting yourself veer off course. The good news? Home values are rising, but mortgage rates aren't. Strong market for times have buoyed retirement accounts. You can save more for retirement and take advantage of both 401ks. And finally, unemployment is falling. So, the Ask Oprah's All-Star section, the Maybe Help You section as they say, but the former term I call it, has some financial, spiritual, and medical advice, respectively, from Susie, from Dr. Phil, think about how you present yourself to potential mates, making peace with unsupportive relatives, and moving beyond grief, presented in a reader Q&A format for all 3 of those scenarios, and Dr. Oz, the now disgraced, well, soon-to-be disgraced, former talk show host, with new ways to conquer chronic pain. Millions more women than men live with that pain that lingers for months or even years. But compelling research shows that alternative therapies can offer lasting relief. So, here are some alternative medicines for lower back pain, knee osteoarthritis, sciatica, and fibromyalgia. Plus, a sidebar here for how you can heal the hurt at home with these tried and true formulas. And now, for those mood boosters as teased in the cover. Oh, happy day! Want to feel a little lighter, shine a little brighter, and watch your mood go sky high? Follow these simple suggestions under J for joy. That incomparable state that's one part inner peace, getting the light, and 100% attainable. Step 1, start hunting for treasure. Well, I gotta say, this article is pretty much a treasure in itself. If you're being guided along the way by photographs of a model that looks an awful lot like Zoe Deschanel, yeah, you're definitely in good hands. These self-care tips in here are bound in these few pages. Like being in a state of play, unleashing your inner child, mowing your lawn, fixing your broken windows. And I don't just mean the ones that happen to be vandalized by some rowdy neighborhood school children. Sorry. How to feel useful in the house, taking a cold shower, having a good laugh or two, petting any pet within reason. I mean, if you don't do it within reason, it can lead to a lawsuit or a trip to the hospital. Appreciating the little stuff, how to prepare for certain scenarios outside of the kitchen, even though this comes to us from Chef Thomas Keller. And trust me, no amount of preparation will ever be able to prepare me in a long time for these annoying drivers on my neighborhood sometimes. It's rush hour, people. Being surprised by joining a club, a book club, a fan club, whatever. Booking a surprise trip, a girl's getaway, whatever. Sleeping on the left side of the bed. Stopping to smell the rose lip balm in all shades. Magnolias, jasmine, gardenias, and lavender. DIY stuff. Cooking up some mental comfort food. And how to satiate your curiosity in various fun and fascinating ways about just about anything you can dream of under the sun, with these 9 examples providing a good starting point. Taking a class in cheese making, learning more about whales, the CIA, and shipwrecks, watching a silent film, trying some Indian food from the late Chef Floyd Cardos of New York's North End Grill, listening to opera, that's suggested from Jennifer Cho, founder of the New York Opera Society, and learning about the CIA of all things from Alex Ganza, co-creator of Showtime's Emmy Award-winning drama series Homeland with Claire Danes. Go figure. From finding your flow to being surprised, you're definitely going to find a self-care tip that you will most certainly vibe with long into the future in this article. And believe you me, there is one more form of self-care that always, and I mean always, is proven effective. And that, as I said, is self-care for your appetite. This is a juicy story. Whether he's making a simply delicious salad or creating a cocktail fresh from the garden for Oprah and her friends, Eduardo Chavez knows how to squeeze the very best flavors out of fruits and veggies. Here, Oprah introduces us to the man behind the martini shaker. If you need to take the edge off after a long, grueling, hectic day, any one of these cocktails would sure do you a good business. So long as you don't get behind the wheel after consuming them, unless you want to spend next Mother's Day in the hospital or behind bars. And not the bars where you might find these cocktails that will restart the whole fiasco again. This PSA has been brought to you by TSR and the Oprah Magazine. Anyway, from this master recipe for this delicious spicy citrus dressing, you can use that dressing to dress up either one of these 2 salads. Fresh from the garden, arugula and radish, or quinoa with arugula and tomatoes. And you'll find the cocktail recipes on the next page as well. And that would be page 126. You have 5 of them here. And they're all chili infused. Oh yeah, that's quite a way to end a Mother's Day. One more feature in here worth highlighting, but I'm not going to really highlight it in detail, is the O list. Some of Oprah's all-American favorite things. It is a July issue after all. And now, for what might be my most second favorite part of this entire issue, and that would be, yes, the honor of the Central Park 6 that makes a back cover cameo. Hello, Monica. Yes, this is the friend that I wish was more than a friend to me, Courtney Cox, and her voluminous hair, modeling for Pantene Pro V Expert Collection, demanding hair, demanding an expert. I guess she's an expert alongside Jennifer Aniston, and to give equal credit, Lisa Kudrow, for making guys wish that they were friends with those Central Park 3, half of the Central Park 6. Yes, I am crushing on Courtney Cox. And for that, for you, babe. Yes, I'm in love with Courtney Cox. On par with Soleil Moon Frye. This gets 5 claps. I mean, for a Mother's Day finale, we just took this way Oprah the top. Here's wishing all of you, moms and mother figures, stepmoms, aunts, grandmoms, etc., a very happy, safe, and enjoyable Mother's Day. And to my own mom, L.M. Torres, you might be the Medea of the North, but I would fare worse with anybody else. For watching TSR. Now, to see another awesome review like this one, click here. If you want to become a Hollywood bargain hunter, click here to subscribe. And I'll catch you on the thrift side.